Welcome to the Randy Report. I'm Randy Slovacek, your host. I'm also the writer and editor of therandyreport.com, where you can find me every single day on the internet reporting on the daily news cycle in terms of politics, pop culture, and entertainment news of interest to the LGBTQ community and its allies. In this week's episode, I count down the big LGBTQ wins at the 77th Emmy Awards. Plus, the Justice Department is considering new regulations that could restrict gun ownership for trans people. And I share my review of the new coming-of-age film, Griffin In Summer, coming to video on demand September 16th. All that and more in this episode of The Randy Report. With a news cycle that can definitely wear folks down, it was fun to watch the 77th Emmy Awards this past Sunday night to celebrate TV's biggest night. The stars donned their best fashion, there were tributes to iconic TV shows, including marking the 40th anniversary of the Golden Girls, and we saw many LGBTQ actors taking home trophies. Out actor Tremel Tillman won the Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series for his scene-stealing performance in Severance, making him the first black actor to win the category ever. He also represented all of us gays who will always be mama's boys by giving an incredibly touching speech about his mother, who was also his +1 for the night. After 3 consecutive years of getting nominated then going home empty-handed, Hannah Einbinder, who identifies as bisexual, finally scored a well-deserved Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series for her work on Hacks. And her co-star, LGBTQ ally Jean Smart, won her 7th Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series for Hacks. In a star-studded category that also included Harrison Ford, Coleman Domingo, Michael Urie, and Bowen Yang, out actor Jeff Hiller took home the trophy for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series for his performance in Somebody Somewhere. Out lesbian Erin Doherty scored the Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Limited Series for her riveting work in the one-take drama Adolescence. It's worth noting that between Tillman, Einbinder, Hiller, and Doherty, 4 out of 6 supporting actor categories this year went to queer winners. After RuPaul's Drag Race basically owned the category for the past several years, The Traitors won Outstanding Reality Competition Program for the 2nd year in a row. Last weekend, Alan Cumming also won Outstanding Host for a Reality Competition Program at the Creative Arts Emmys. The night's big winners were the gripping medical procedural The Pit, which won for Outstanding Drama Series, and the Hollywood satire The Studio for Outstanding Comedy Series, both winning for their first seasons. While neither show predominantly focuses on queer stories or themes, they do feature plenty of LGBTQ characters and cast members, so I chalk both up as victories for Team Gay. And here's a fun fact, this is the first time since 1988 that both major series awards have gone to new series for their inaugural seasons. Plus, Hollywood power couple Mary Steenburgen and Ted Danson were honored with the Bob Hope Humanitarian Award, recognizing a lifetime of extraordinary philanthropy, activism, and unwavering commitment to global good. A video package extolled their extensive advocacy, which made sure to mention their allyship to the LGBTQ community, supporting trans rights in particular. While I will admit some of the writing for the show was a bit uneven, all in all, it was a fun night celebrating some really terrific TV. For a complete list of winners, click over to televisionacademy.com. The Justice Department is considering new regulations that could restrict gun ownership for transgender people, following the deadly mass shooting at a Catholic church school in Minneapolis, in which the perpetrator has been reported to be trans. CNN reports that the department is exploring whether gender dysphoria could be classified as a mental health condition that disqualifies someone from owning firearms. Current federal law allows for restrictions on gun rights for individuals deemed mentally defective by a court, but extending that framework to gender identity would mark a significant and controversial shift in federal policy. In the past, LGBTQ advocates and legal experts have warned such laws would unfairly single out transgender Americans and could set a dangerous precedent in linking identity with criminality. But it would be just one more of many anti-trans actions by the Trump administration. In reality, the overwhelming majority of mass shooters are cisgender males. A study by the Violence Project found 98% of mass shooters are cisgender males, 2% are cisgender females, and less than 1% are transgender. You can read the report at theviolenceproject.org. A Republican state legislator in Oregon has switched parties to become a Democrat, saying the GOP is more interested in burning things down than governing for its constituents. He credits his gay son for his decision. State Representative Cyrus Javadi, a dentist representing the state's 32nd district, made the announcement on Substack last week, confirming he will seek re-election on the Democratic ticket next year. His party swap increases the Oregon House's Democratic majority to 37 seats out of 60. During this past legislative session, Javadi's votes have increasingly rankled conservative legislators and activists, especially after he supported a resolution honoring black drag performers and became the only Republican to vote for a bill prohibiting discriminatory book bans. In his online statement, he said, "I've had enough of politics as performance art." He also defended his vote for the anti-book ban bill, saying he made his decision in part because one of his children is gay. He wrote, quote, "Republicans frame their opposition as stopping pornography in schools, ignoring the fact parents can already challenge any book. The real issue was whether kids, gay kids like my son, Black kids, Muslim kids, could still find stories on the shelves that reflect their lives." End quote. Javadi added that opposing this kind of censorship isn't about being woke. It's about being American. What to watch? I highly recommend writer-director Nicholas Kalia's debut feature film, Griffin in Summer, a sensitive, smart, and funny coming-of-age gem that earns every bit of its heartfelt emotion. Walking a cinematic tightrope, Kalia scores in balancing the tone of the film, which at times requires deadpan and awkward moments, without being heavy-handed or falling into the land of stereotypes. The winning performances from the film's two leads, Everett Blunk and Owen Teague, then elevate Kalia's work to a new level. The official synopsis reads, Griffin Nafley, played by Everett Blunk, is the most ambitious playwright of his generation. He's also 14 years old and living with his parents in a humdrum suburb while dreaming of moving to New York. When his mom hires a handsome 25-year-old handyman, played by Owen Teague, Griffin's life and his new play take an inspired turn. Blunk, in his first leading role, delivers a breakout performance as Griffin. He masterfully navigates the character's blend of self-serious ambition and awkward adolescent vulnerability, making him laugh-out-loud funny and endearing. Teague is equally intriguing as Brad, the older handyman who becomes the object of Griffin's first crush. He portrays Brad with a subtle, lived-in charm that prevents the character from being a simple trope. Their dynamic is the heart of the film, a funny, messy, and poignant exploration of unrequited affection and the longing for connection. Along the way, Kalia presents little bites of Griffin's life observations to the viewer, and then brings them together for the film's finale, where it all adds up. The film premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival, where it received awards for Best U.S. Narrative Feature, Best Screenplay, and a special jury mention for New Narrative Director. Since then, it's played over 20 additional festivals across the U.S. and Europe. The movie currently has an impressive 96% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Griffin in Summer will be available on video on demand starting September 16th. And that brings me to the end of this episode of The Randy Report. If you enjoy catching up on LGBTQ news in a quick podcast, I'd appreciate it if you'd recommend it to your friends. I like to think of The Randy Report as the 60 minutes of gay news, only shorter. And remember, you can find me every single day on the internet at therandyreport.com, where I cover the daily news cycle in terms of politics, pop culture, and entertainment news of interest to the LGBTQ community and its allies. I also want to say I recently took a look at the analytics for the Randy Report podcast, and it brought a big smile to my face to see, in addition to listeners in the US, Canada, and the UK, hundreds of regular listeners in Ireland, Germany, Singapore, Australia, Italy, Brazil, Ukraine, and the Russian Federation. So a big shout out to all of you. It's always more fun knowing you're out there. Thanks for listening, folks. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.